Hey, welcome back. I'm going to go ahead and flush the cooling system in this Chevy Astro van, 1992 First thing model. You want to do before you drain anything is get a drain pan so you can dispose of this antifreeze properly. This stuff is very poisonous to animals. The drain cock is just below the bottom radiator hose. You have to get to it underneath. You can just reach up and you can feel for it. And it'll untwist with your fingers, hopefully. So you open the radiator cap, and open the drain cock. Once the radiator has finished draining, then you want to close the drain cock back. Okay, with the drain plug closed, add your flush to the radiator. The whole bottle. Next, you want to fill the radiator with water. This is just plain old tap water. And make sure you get it full. Then put the cap back on. Good and tight. Now you want to start the engine and run it, bring it up to temperature. Turn the heater on, leave the AC off, and run the engine for 10 minutes after you bring it up to normal operating temperature. So it's going to have to warm up, then once it warms up you run it for another 10 minutes. Make sure you have the heater on, and it doesn't matter, I don't think, if the fan is on. Wait till it's up to operating temperature. It should probably get up about halfway, and once you know it's at its normal operating temperature, then you can time it and let it run for 10 more minutes. When I run it for 10 minutes and shut it off, I'm going to have to go away from it for a while because that's going to be very hot, and you cannot open that drain cock with it hot. So you're going to have to let everything cool down before you go back on it. So it's going to take a little time to do this properly. All right, the engine's cooled down enough. I've opened the drain cock at the bottom, and take the cap off, and it'll really come out now down below, because if you open that drain cock first, if you open that first before you do this, you won't get as much on you down there. So I'm going to let this drain out, then I'm going to go ahead and tighten that drain cock back up, and then fill it with water, bring it up to operating temperature, and run it for another 10 minutes. Okay, I've got more water put in here now, and I've got it running. I'm bringing it up to temperature, and then I'm going to time it for 10 minutes, let it run for 10 minutes, shut it off, and then drain the water out of this. And then it'll be time to add the coolant, I believe. It's about operating temperature for me, just about halfway. Alright, this is my last drain. Once this drains, then I will be able to fill it with 50-50 solution of antifreeze coolant and water. You can see the rust that has been built up on this. And they were running it in water, with water and no coolant. Okay, I have the drain cock, drain plug tightened up, and I'm filling it with a 50-50 solution mix of antifreeze and distilled water. Now what you can do, fill it just a little bit below the neck. And you can start the engine, let it warm up, and you'll see when the thermostat opens up, you'll see the water start to move, go back down. Then you can top it off and then fill this. Also, a lot of times just before the thermostat opens, the coolant, water, whatever you have will come on up and over the top, and then when it opens it'll go back down. When it goes back down, then you can fill it up to the top here. And start the engine. Now when that thermostat opens, this level will go back down very quickly. And you'll get some bubbles. Going into the coolant recovery tank now, some more bubbles. When I get this done, I'm going to fill up the coolant recovery tank if I haven't said so already. Go down any minute. There it goes. Starting to go now. All those bubbles. That's the coolant going into the block. You can see movement of the water now. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add coolant, bring it up to the top here, put the cap back on. There's operating temperature. This is about what it'll probably operate at idling in traffic. When I get it out on the road, I'd like to see it pulled back down a little bit, but it all depends on the thermostat too. If it's a 192 thermostat or somewhere in that area, then it's probably going to try and keep that temperature right about there. Over the course of the next few days, I'll check the coolant recovery tank and see how the levels are doing with it, and of course, and I'll check for leaks and everything like that. So this is Steve AZ711 saying thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing. Be sure and keep the animals away from the antifreeze. Until the next video, this is Steve AZ711 saying bye.